Roll call, please.
Chair Sheila Retchledge,
I'm here.
Vice Chair Sabah Heaven, Member Cindy Cahill,
Here.
Member Lucy Evans,
Here.
Member Andrew Honig,
Here.
Member Lynn LaPlante.
Here. Thank you, everybody. Just chair remarks this morning is enjoy your gardens, because man, they are just getting ready to explode, I know. Don't put down pesticides and spray for bugs. I got a guy behind me that's always, the guy comes around, please don't spray that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to have a talk with him, I think. That's my only remark. Enjoy the summer. It's lovely, a little hot, but it's July now, so, any public comment? Thank you. Next on our agenda is, 5A 25-16-13, the approval of minutes
So
from our
moved.
Tuesday, May 6th.
Second.
meeting. Any changes, corrections, or additions? All in favor?
Aye.
That motion carries. Next is our presentation from Scares. Morning, Kay. I got a ton of them.
They had it on the news this morning, how low the numbers are for lightning, so
Leave your leaves next year.
Yeah, leave your leaves.
leave your leaves, another reason, right? So you guys, this is like kind of like April, May, June. So the design challenge, it was our 19th. We already have the date for the 20th anniversary of this next year. But these kids were from Roselle, Lombard, and Lombard. There's a little problem with ACT testing that came back this year. But we're back up to our numbers in our schools. The kids did a great job. Thank you for all of you that had time to walk around and see the kids' models and exhibits and hear some of their presentations. It's so important for them to have somebody hear what their work was. I think it's really validating and so forth. So thank you for doing that. We were thrilled with some of the projects for sure. Go ahead. So Forest Glen recertified their earth flag this year, and Sheila and Saba were there. These kids, and this teacher is a library aide, and she took on this project like gung-ho. Just really just amazing. And she and I worked really on student-led projects. So you can see the young lady on the right there. Those are those magnets that say, please don't idle. So they stick on the back of your car. So the parents who are in line, right? And we got this idea. We worked with the Elmhurst Library years ago on this project, but a lot of cars now are made out of aluminum. And so the magnets don't stick. So we'll have to come up with another project, but they did a tremendous amount of work, including planting 2 native trees. They had black plastic lunch trays, lunch containers for the free and reduced lunch. And they got rid of those for the entire district. They really did an extraordinary job. They gave speeches to their school board.
And they sent out a lovely, lovely thank you note. I would assume that Sabah got it, but it's so cute with all the little signatures of the kids. It was like definitely one of those things I'm gonna keep.
And their club is called One Earth, and we were able to find a book called One Earth. So we gave it to the sponsor, Kathleen, and she had the kids sign it, kind of like a yearbook. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So they're working on their water quality flag for the following year. So go ahead. So the garden market, it's the best we ever had. It's also the second time we've had good weather. Beverly begged for good weather, send it into the universe. And so many of you were able to come. Thank you so much for coming. But the native trees and the native plants, we had 28 vendors, Bev. I think it was 28 vendors. And then you could buy food scrap amended compost at the back. So we had everything that you can imagine for energy conservation and composting, as well as native plants. It went really well. We had over 600 people attend that we were able to count. So yeah, we were really thrilled. Good weather helps. Go ahead. So we have been doing a lot of little workshops on composting, but we're really thrilled. We have a volunteer now making our favorite compost bin. His name is John. No, that's not right. Paul. Yes. Thanks, Beth. So he's made our favorite bins. Those bins, you guys have wire mesh on the bottom as well. And it's 1/4-inch holes. Mice need 1/2-inch holes minimum. So it's really nice for in a neighborhood to have not have people worry, right, that you're attracting anything. So it's got 6 sides of wire mesh, and he uses scrap lumber to make each of the bins. So it's reused lumber, right? really good hinges that won't rust, and then the wire mesh. So really
You
happy.
just tumble them.
How much does oh, you have to tumble
Well, you have.
You just move it from one
That's
place,
how
the stuff comes
you
out the bottom.
stir your compost.
them? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what does he charge for those?
Yeah.
Sorry,
What does he charge for those?
150. 150, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're really, really nice. Anyway, so we had a workshop, for residents, and then NICOR had us in to come to talk to their staff, their green team and so forth last week. So a lot more people are getting interested in compost, and we were able to hold the May 8th one during International Compost Awareness Week. So we're happy about that. Go ahead. So Senator Ellman has created a STEM Academy for middle school kids and their parents. And so they had called for us to help them with some projects. So this is one of the projects. So we created this word search. We need to find ways for people to continue learning or remind them of new terms. So we created this word search for kids and their parents, of course, to find the words that are things that can be accepted at the hazardous waste site. So it's really effective. Senator Ellman organizes this, her staff does, Leslie and so forth. And so we had high school kids, middle school kids, and actually some college kids as well as her staff. So, and then our interns were able to go. So Jared did a great job explaining the problems and explaining even, fertilizer being poison and so forth. So it was a really good tour kind of after hours. Go ahead. So last June 5th, the Stormwater Department has that municipal engineers, and we hosted it at Scarce, and we hosted it so that we could talk about the cooking oil recycling and trying to get that expanded around the county. So we have more locations for people to drop it off, as well as the storm drain medallions. And we also talked about pickup 5 to reduce the litter that's out there. So go ahead. We're really fortunate. Beverly organized this solar teacher training. 25 teachers registered. They came from New Jersey with all the teaching equipment for the teachers, paid the teachers $100 stipend for coming. So that was really nice for people to have hands-on solar energy training. And they also talked a lot about energy conservation. So we were really happy with the second time we've done that, and we're planning a third workshop with them. Go ahead. So for April, May, June, there were 85 programs, almost 3,000 people educated, garden clubs, the League of Women Voters from Glen Ellen and so forth. So we try to reach a variety of people at their interest level or their concern level. So we get a broader range of people coming in and learning steps that they can take. Go ahead. We organized with the interns from the county, as well as the interns that we have training at the Groot recycling facility. And every year we call Javier up there about twice a year and talk about, so what are people sending you that's driving you crazy? So of course, syringes and medicine and those kinds of things. But this time he was very clear. He wants people to understand that these are humans sorting, even though we're getting robotic arms and optical sorters, these are humans sorting, and the kinds of things that they're getting, half of a deer carcass in the recycling bin.
No way.
Yes.
In a recycling bin?
I mean,
Oh
oh
my
my God.
They got a live boa constrictor, and he didn't say it like it's the first time. And so he really, so we've always said, human, please be respectful throughout the food so it doesn't bring rodents and things like that. But he was very specific, asking us to tell people that they're humans sorting, and it's just disrespectful to send dirty diapers, right? And things like that. So we are going to make a bigger point of that in all of our presentations because that's really just shocking. So go ahead. So these are some of the things. He says they have a fire just about every week due to the lithium batteries. Medicine, people put their pill bottles with medicine into the recycling bin. Of course, tons of food, the snake. And he's just sad for the employees that this is happening.
Are people putting their dog waste in
Yes.
recycling?
Yeah, and
bins?
we know why that happens. So, I live next to a park. I'm the first house outside of a park. And I think when people clean up after their dog or change a diaper, they go to the first bin outside of the park and they put it in. So we put our garbage and recycling bins now out on Monday morning versus Sunday night so that people don't have an opportunity to do that. So I think some of it's that, just people trying to get rid of it. But it's really hard for those folks to have and you can imagine in the heat that we've had, how smelly that must be. But he says they're having about 4 fires a month. And so when we were there for the tour, Bev was there, he said, we haven't had a fire yet this week.
Oh.
And I was like, oh no. Not while we have our interns here, please. So really teaching people about hidden lithium batteries and, you know, all those things that they can't be there. So go ahead. So you guys, it starts to be really busy starting June 1st. So these are the numbers of tons of books, paper, and cardboard that we recycled April through June, 78,000 pounds. So the cardboard, the paperback books, the hardcover books, and then white paper is what we pay then to get recycled. Go ahead. The recycling events, I've got highlighted the ones that are done for the spring. And we're working on, Addison has a new date for the fall. We have to add and stuff, but 25 at least scheduled for 2025. Woodridge has 3 a year, so that's pretty amazing. But some of the biggest ones, Winfield Township is really big coming up. West Chicago's was really well. This year we helped them add textiles to their program. So we're able, every year we try to add something to a town's recycling efforts to help reduce what goes to a landfill and get things reused. Go ahead.
How come some were bold?
The bold ones are the ones that were done.
Oh, gotcha.
So, so this is West Chicago's. The sheriff's department was there for medicine, syringes, EpiPens, and medicine. And then it was, like I said, the first time we did textiles. So there are 226 cars. I believe that's the highest number they've had. And then the paper shredding, they allow, and they have 2 trucks. It's funded by Groot. It's part of their contract. So they have 2 trucks that they don't have to ask the county for funding, and it's part of their contract, but 5.4 tons. And then they also sponsor the rain barrel pickup that same day. So it's kind of cool because you can drop stuff off as well as pick up your rain barrel. And this is the most rain barrels they've had picked up, pre-ordered that they've had. But textiles was really big this year and people had a lot of questions. So it'll be even better next year. Go ahead. So these are the upcoming ones. John Curran has really taken these on, or Hirschauer has taken these on. So it's great to have other people kind of sponsor. We help promote it and help them with questions. But we're excited because Downers Grove plan, like I said last time, they haven't had a program in at least 10 years. So we've been working really hard with Downers Grove to have electronics and textiles. They will have the syringes and EpiPens. It's going to be a crazy big event. Go ahead. So Stomapalooza is coming, you guys. We're very excited. Last year was the first time back that we had 4 full days. So this is 4 full days, is that right? So we're looking forward to all the activities for composting, energy conservation, you know, recycling, all kinds of projects. Hope you guys can stop in and see some of the things that people are learning. Go ahead. So the medicine syringes, as I said, the October 4th, and this really helps Javier with the recycling facilities, having people learn more and more about where they can take syringes to protect his staff. I think he said almost every day somebody gets stuck.
Yeah, every day. And then he also said, at least 3 to 4 weeks, every 3 to 4 weeks, they fill up a 55-gallon drum with syringes.
So we need more
Every
people.
3 to 4 weeks.
So they need more people to know where they can take syringes and EpiPens. It's kind of, it's critical. I mean, it's really critical because people just don't know. It'd be helpful if like physicians would help tell people, you know, and if veterinarians for people whose dogs have diabetes, they would educate them. It'd be help to spread the education to those entities. That's one of our goals as we kind of think about this problem and the humans that are involved and impacted. Go ahead.
That's it?
That's it. Okay. So yes.
So for the dog waste, are
Yes.
those bags that they put by the prairie pit and everything, they're not recyclable bags, are they? See, that's the problem, because I walk my dog
Compostable.
all the time, and so I see those bags and grab them. And so sometimes you think that since their bags may be recyclable, you can put them in recycling. But that's,
Wait.
no, I
Yeah.
know, but I'm just saying, what can we do to get bags that are
Well, even the
Well,
compostable, even the
yeah,
compostable
they're
bags,
not,
there's no oxygen in a well-built, well-maintained landfill, there's no oxygen. So they're not gonna really compost for a very, very, very long time anyway, okay?
Yeah.
But I think people don't want to put it in their car. They don't want to walk it with their dog in their stroller back to their house.
We gotta figure out how they can't have those plastic bags, because that's just really bad for the
The whole
environment.
thing is bad for the
A lot of
neighbors.
neighbors, what I've noticed is they don't have garbage cans along the prairie path. We live
Mhm.
right off I walk the prairie path all the time. In other communities like Boulder, Colorado, they always have the compostable biodegradable bags and tons and tons and tons of garbage cans. They never have a bag station without right next to it a trash can.
Right.
We have to walk miles holding bags, you know?
Right.
Because there's nowhere to dispose of them, which is ridiculous. So that's why they're always litter on the prairie path,
Yeah.
because they don't put out enough trash receptacles.
There are a couple of reasons. I mean, they were getting some really dangerous things in those garbage cans. Um,
Yeah, they did
It's a
it, they
part
do
of
it
it.
deliberately, but
Okay.
then it creates a second problem.
Right,
So
I
it solves
see.
one problem, but it creates another.
Yeah.
So there's gotta be
Okay.
a solution.
What is that solution? That's
It's-
true though, yeah.
It's not that difficult of a solution, I
You
don't think.
you gotta figure out education. Education's the key, you know, it's just.
Well, I think you have to provide the resources though, because it doesn't matter how educated someone is if there's no, receptacle for trash.
One of my grandsons says, how come there's so many beer cans and those little liquor bottles? I said, well, because if you're drinking and you're not 21, you're not gonna take the aluminum
Gonna hide
cans
the
home and put them in
evidence.
your recycling bin at home.
Yeah.
Because then your parents are gonna know. So, that's kind of one of the problems, but they were getting a lot of bullets. And yeah, so one of the reasons they don't have them, but that's not a good enough answer. So any other questions?
No, that's all. Thank
Yeah.
I was gonna say the
Well,
same.
and I noticed a lot of apartment complexes have, a lot of dog-friendly ones have like bags that they provide, and a lot of, like, under those are the trash cans for
Yes.
the compost bins, which is nice, but I feel like that, again, could be useful along the prairie path, because I walk my dog on the prairie path and the Great Western Trail, and there is stuff all the time. Yeah.
Do you have one of those stations where you live that you can send me a picture of that and I can
Mhm.
approach the Forest Preserve about more of it?
Yeah,
That'd be
so
great.
like, on the south side of Lombard, like Martin's Point, Cove Landing, the 450s, they have all these really nice, like, bags they provide, and all of the bags that they provide have compost bins, and so, or garbage cans.
Garbage cans,
Garbage cans.
All right, any other questions for Kay this morning?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Kay. Next on our agenda is a staff report about the campus tree planting event with Chicago Region Tree Initiative. Jen Boyer.
Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
So
Come on over here, Jen.
camera, right?
Yeah.
Last fall, Chicago Region Tree Initiative, which is part of the Morton Arboretum, reached out to us to see if they could organize. Oh, there you go. So we came up with a planting plan. We chose from their list of species. And they came here beginning of May and planted 38 trees with us. They brought a crew. They provided 24 hours of labor alongside our crew. This is what's showing here right now is a little video that Miles put together for our social media. He was out there with us gathering some footage. And you can see that that's the campus grounds crew helping out, toting around mulch. The crew themselves know how to plant trees. They've planted close to 500 trees on the campus within the last 10 years. But working alongside the Morton Arboretum crew, they got even more hands-on training. The campus is an accredited level 1 arboretum through the Morton Arboretum. And what stands us apart a little bit from other arboretums is most of our new trees within the last 10 years are native.
Very nice. Any questions for Jen this morning? How do they make sure that who's doing the watering this first year?
Oh, yeah, good question. So we actually signed an agreement saying that we are responsible for watering for the next 3 years. All of our new trees on campus, if they fit underneath the small trees, get a gator bag.
Okay, do those work? I see them all over the, okay.
They work, you have to check them and make sure they don't
Sure.
get clogged. So if we don't get an inch of rain in a week, then the ground screw water's gone.
Great.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Thank you, Jen. Appreciate that. Next is the Illinois battery recycling, report.
Yes, so, Kay laid the groundwork for this. The way, last year in the legislative session, the waste haulers as well as the material recycling facilities, as well as local governments actually went to the legislature and requested this Illinois Battery Stewardship Act. So it will launch January 1st, 2026. And it will provide the entire state with access to recycling of primary batteries as well as rechargeable batteries. Most of the drop-offs are rechargeable, so it's nice to finally see some primary battery locations as well. They're starting with the portable batteries, the smaller ones, and then they will eventually, let's see, 2028 is when they'll actually take the bigger batteries. So your e-bikes, things over like 4.4, so the bigger ones. But the state of Illinois also has some grant funding that we'll be talking with the communities about. They're launching that sometime this fall, so they're looking for some drop-off points. So we're working on that as well. So hopefully, over time, the MRFs
Get
will
there.
see some improvements and some.
Good. Well, because I think we talked the other day that I know the city of Warrenville was accepting alkaline batteries, but now they've said no more, so. No, Staples, I think, is still a drop-off point for alkaline batteries.
Yep, they sure are.
I have a question.
Sure.
What happens to those batteries? They're being recycled. Are they just being kind of put into containers and then in the landfill?
No, Carlton Recycle is actually required as the product stewardship organization to recycle both.
So what do? They dismantle the battery and take out, is there anything valuable in old batteries that can be
There
reused?
are in the rechargeables, less so in the primary, but they do take them apart in the, there are some components that are put into fertilizer. Not a lot of value in the primary alkaline battery, the rechargeable. You've got your nickel metal hydride, but they are dismantled. Yes, and lithium right now is very valuable. It actually, having lithium recycling here is beneficial to our economy in multiple ways, because then we're not having to buy it from China and other foreign countries. So
Okay,
it's become a significant issue.
So they're truly being recycled, not just put in this.
They
Like,
are.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised when we went to the Has Waste facility in Naperville. What is it, the compact fluorescent bulbs? All they do is just break them down and then put them in a box that goes in the landfill. So
Oh,
I thought they were.
Kay can take care of that.
Actually, we have a bulb eater, it's scarce, and, so that's not what happens, they're pretty cool. They capture the mercury, there's nothing wrong with the mercury,
Okay,
and the aluminum parts of those bulbs is recycled, and there's a little filament in there that sticks to a magnet, and that's recyclable, and the glass is actually recyclable, so there's only one part, the powder that they mix the, mercury vapor with, is the only part that's garbage after they break up
After they
those
eat 'em.
fluorescent bulbs. Yeah, it's very cool.
Does the Naperville facility not have a bulb eater?
They do, and they do,
Oh,
they do
okay.
right, they do it
Yeah.
absolutely correctly, yeah.
when we took that tour, they just said that they grind it up, put it in a box.
Hmm.
The company that they send them to handles all that.
Yes.
They grind it up, they capture the mercury, they grind it up. The company that it gets sent to handles all of that. Yep.
We'll check with Naperville.
Yeah,
And
I
the
was
state
just
of
gonna
Illinois,
say,
because it
let's
is-
check.
Yeah, because if it is through the Illinois, through the
Yeah.
state contract, there have historically been some issues where, yes, things have been collected, it's actually hazardous waste control or such, but they have been correcting that over the, in this most recent contract, they have made some changes to require.
When did you
things to
take
be
the
recycled.
tour?
When we first got elected,
Okay.
2022, I think, or
Okay.
maybe 2023.
So it's been a while.
All right.
But things have
Thanks for
changed.
that, Lucy.
Their new
Well,
contract
I'm
is
glad to hear it.
much better. It's more expensive, but it's much better.
Follow up with that. Next on our agenda, 25-16-12, the Switch Together Summer 25 campaign.
So we've had some success since we've started with the group buy. The Solar Switch program has been fabulous this spring. Let's see, we have, what did I say here? Drink summer early lunch. During the session, 93 households had accepted their solar offers. Since the start of the program, we've had actually 111 installations. So 1,107 kilowatts that were added solar capacity. And that's just since we've been working with iChooser. I didn't incorporate the data from pre-iChooser. So for the first couple of years, we were just working with MREA and COG. So we're looking pretty good. They are going to be one of the reasons I wanted to make sure you were all aware is the letter signed by Sheila will be out here soon. So you might be getting calls from residents. It is legitimate. It is a good program. It's a group buy. Residents stand to gain $3,000 to $4,000 on their solar
A group
installation. It's a group buy.
Oh.
Sorry. Just through similar to a Costco model, through economies, you're getting a better deal, and then they do help you get all of your incentives.
I actually got a phone call yesterday of somebody trying to schedule an appointment with me about that. And I was, I asked one question, he's like, when can we schedule? I was like, hold on a minute, let me ask you a few questions. I said, because my name's at the bottom of that letter. So it was
Nice. Grab your
interesting, they're
backpack.
already out there. So, yeah. Is there, the SRECs coming out of the state, is there an end date for those? Because I think I saw something about federal SRECs, for lack of a better word, if that's not the right word, they're ending in 27. So there's still credits out there.
There are, however, they are reduced next year. In 2026, they start to decline over it. Yeah, the first couple, yeah. So if you're gonna do it now.
Do it now, now's the time.
Is this going out in our cool DuPage? Are we kind of advertising this?
Oh,
And then the newsletters are being mailed directly to home.
Oh, great. Thank you.
yeah, they do have a campaign where they actually send letters to the population
And it's
actually-
from the county, signed by me, explaining the program. So I get calls, is this a scam?
Yeah, it sounds too good to be true to some people,
Yeah.
It does.
Trust but verify.
You're right, yes, we had a post in, I think it was Elmhurst area,
Yeah.
saying that it was a scam. It was, It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, I would join the group and tell them it wasn't.
Yeah.
Good, good.
All righty, next on the agenda, any old business? Any old business? Seeing none, any new business? Any new business? Seeing none, without objection, we're adjourned.